So your company rolled out an AI tool. Maybe it was ChatGPT Enterprise, maybe it was Copilot, maybe something purpose-built for your industry. There was a big announcement, there was a training, there was a rollout plan, maybe you even got some cool company swag. And now, a few months in, adoption is low. People are using it occasionally, but not consistently. The results aren't what leadership expected, and there's a quiet conversation happening in the background about whether or not the tool was the right choice. Here's what nobody is saying out loud. The tool is probably fine. The problem isn't the AI. The problem is what your organization gave it to work with. In this video, I'm going to show you the documentation gap behind most failed AI rollouts and how to fix it. Here's what actually happens when an organization rolls out AI without documentation in place. Employees get access to the tool, they try it for the first time, they ask it a question about how to run a process at their company, and the AI gives them some generic answer because it doesn't know how your company runs that process. It's never been told. So the employee gets a generic answer, they shrug, and they go back to asking a coworker. They use the AI tool once a week instead of 10 times a day, and leadership sees low adoption numbers and assumes the tool is the problem. But the tool isn't the problem. The AI was never given context about how your company actually works. Your processes were never captured, your workflows were never structured, your institutional knowledge was never turned into something AI can use. If we want the efficiency AI promised us, we need to prepare it for better work. You rolled out an AI tool, but you never documented your processes. And processes that aren't documented can't be optimized or automated. So how do you know if your organization is documentation ready for an AI rollout? There are 3 signs. And if any of these are true, you have a foundational problem, not a tool problem. Sign 1. Your processes live in people's heads, not in structured guides. If you ask an employee to find the step-by-step guide for a core workflow, submitting an expense or onboarding a new vendor or escalating a support ticket, and they couldn't find it in under 60 seconds, you don't have documentation infrastructure. You have tribal knowledge, and AI can't work with tribal knowledge that lives in people's heads. Sign 2. Your existing documentation was written for compliance, not execution. If your process docs are 4-paragraph PDFs with passive voice steps and no screenshots, they're written so an auditor can see the process exists, not so an employee can actually run it. Your AI has nothing actionable to work on. Format matters. Sign 3. Your documentation isn't connected to where the work happens. If your guides live in a SharePoint folder that employees navigate to once and never return to, not in the apps where the work actually happens, your AI tools can't surface them at the moment of need. Documentation that isn't accessible isn't usable, not by humans and not by machines. If you or your company has even one of these issues, then you need to document first and then deploy AI. The organizations getting real ROI from AI right now aren't the ones with the best AI tools, they're the ones with the best documentation infrastructure underneath those tools. The ones that did the groundwork first to document their knowledge before the AI rollout. They've captured their highest impact processes using a fast capture method. A systematic approach to getting real workflows out of people's heads and into structured guides. They've organized that documentation into a team-wide library, connected the apps where the work happens, searchable by anybody, accessible by AI at the moment it's needed. And then they deployed AI on top of that foundation. And it worked because the AI had something to work with. Because document first, automate second isn't just a philosophy, it's the sequence that makes AI actually deliver on efficiency. And that's where Tango fits. Tango is the infrastructure layer. It's the platform that makes documentation fast to build and easy to connect to where your team works. You just open the extension, click through your process, and Tango captures automatically and creates a simple step-by-step guide. It's structured, it's contextual, and it's AI ready. It helps you build the foundation first, then let AI run on top of it. If your AI rollout is stalling, don't change the tool. Check the foundation and check for these 3 signs. Processes just living in people's heads, compliance format docs that aren't actionable workflows, and documentation not connected to where work happens. Fix those first. Document first, automate second. That's the sequence. You can try Tango for free at tango.ai so you can build the documentation foundation your AI rollout needs. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. There's a lot more where this came from. I'm Mark, let's Tango.